Naftali Bennett's the former chief of staff to Benjamin Netanyahu, and there's a slight delay in our connection. I want to thank you for being here. And I just want to get to the top news that we're getting at this hour. Is there a ceasefire that's imminent?
Not yet. Right now we've got thousands of soldiers on the border ready to go in order to defend ourselves from the rain of missiles that's been hitting our cities, including here in Jerusalem, where just about an hour ago a few missiles came in. We're ready to defend ourselves. The only acceptable result of this situation is a total dismantle of the ability of Hamas to shoot more missiles on Israeli cities.
What does it mean that Hillary Clinton is going to Jerusalem?
I think that's good news. I think the main objective has to be to dismantle Hamas. At the end of the day, in the longer term, we won't be able to have a terrorist regimes next to us. Hamas is sort of a Al-Qaeda type organization. They have one objective, is to wipe out the West, to wipe out Israel. It's unacceptable, and we will defend ourselves. Right now, in the short term, the immediate need is to dry up that well of missile launchers and missiles that keep on being shot at us.
Would Hillary Clinton be going to Jerusalem, Ramallah, and Cairo if there was no deal in the works, if it was not about to happen?
Well, I think there is something going on in the background. I agree, Bill. I think, though, that anything less of total ceasefire now and dismantling the ability to begin shooting on us 2 weeks from now is unacceptable. There's no point if just 2 or 3 weeks from now, again, they'll start shooting at us. I want to be very clear. 7 years ago, we handed over 100% of Gaza to the Palestinians, and they founded immediately an independent Al-Qaeda type state, a Hamas state, that immediately started shooting missiles on us then and to this very day. This all has to end. We cannot accept a terrorist regime next to us.
A few hours ago, the leader of Hamas was speaking in Cairo. He says that Israel, and specifically Benjamin Netanyahu, is bluffing. What do you say to that?
I think Benjamin Netanyahu is determined to protect us. I think the Hamas, who started without any provocation this whole big round, is killing its own children by hiding missile launchers within hospitals, within kindergartens. This is something unheard of. This is a new sinister tactic, and they're killing their own children in order to kill Israelis. We have to stop it. I hope and believe that Prime Minister Netanyahu will protect the Israeli nation.
You have said several times in just this interview what the Israelis and Netanyahu want is to make sure that Hamas can no longer fire any of these missiles or rockets, be it Iranian-made or locally made in the Gaza Strip. At this point in the conflict, how close can you say that Israel has come to eliminating that threat?
Well, we've made some good progress. We've taken out hundreds of missile launchers and a tremendous amount of infrastructure, terror infrastructure. Also, fortunately, the head of the terror organization was killed. However, that's not enough, because if we just pull out and have some sort of ceasefire, within a few days they'll get organized and begin shooting again. We either have to go in and clean it up or demand a dismantling of the Hamas.
I just want to be a bit more specific on this answer. Are you 50% of the way there? Are you 75? Are you 90% there?
Well, here's the problem, Bill. I'd say we're 50% there, but they keep on importing new missile launchers and new missiles from Egypt. It comes through Iran, through Egypt, and then into Gaza Strip. If we don't create a buffer zone, if we don't put a wall there that stops the constant inflow of missiles, even if we've reached 50% the way, it'll be reversed, and it'll be as if we've done nothing. So we have to stop that influx of missile launchers and missiles into the Gaza Strip.
All right, now, and on that point, and this is the last question I want to get to, and then we've got to get to some other news, especially as it relates to Libya, which I know is front and center in your mind as well. But is this not what Benjamin Netanyahu wanted in order to get the president of Egypt, newly crowned there, to take a position on the Gaza Strip and prevent further weapons and missiles from going into Gaza, and also to test your own Iron Dome system, a system that has already proven to be very successful? And at the same time, you show that Hamas has rockets in its possession that were made in Iran and that can fly 45 miles in the air and hit neighborhoods in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, and then you get the U.S. president over the weekend supporting Israel publicly? Is that 4 for 4 or even 5 for 5 for Benjamin Netanyahu's strategy in this conflict?
I think it's a very good achievement. I'm happy that President Obama supports us and is supporting the right side of this conflict, because there is right and wrong. The main thing at this point in time is, yes, for Egypt to take responsibility on its border, to stop any further inflow of missiles, and we have to at some point say enough is enough, and that point in time is now. We're not going to accept any more missiles on our own children here in Israel.
Naftali Bennett, thank you. Former Chief of Staff Benjamin Netanyahu, live there
in
Jerusalem. Thank you, Martha.